Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, chapter 17, verse 25. Bhagwan Krishna in the last verse said about the significance of chanting Om. Wise man always, that is very important, always, that word is very important, always, Satatam. Before beginning any act of austerity, charity, or sacrifice, they chant Om. Why? What is the reason? That has been given by Swami Chinmayananda and Swami Dayananda Saraswati because it purifies all the acts. Whatever defects are there, it gets purified. So they chant Om. Now, verse 25. Tadit yanabhisantaya palam yagyata bakriyagam dana kriyascha vividagam kriyante moksha kankshibhigim. Now, Bhagavan said about Om. Now it is Tat. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, like Om, Tat is also symbol of Param Brahma. It has the same effect as Om if used with Shraddha. Both Om and Tat are meant for seekers, mumukshus. Those who want moksha, they chant Tat. When they perform various activities, whether it is a ritual, yajna, tabas, or dana, they perform them without expectation of any result. That is punya. Anabhisantaya. They don't expect any result. They want only antakarana suddhi, to purify the mind. This is not considered to be a fruit. These activities are performed with an attitude that it is an offering to Bhagavan. That is Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, generally, Tat or Sat is not used alone. Separately, nobody chants Tat, Tat, Tat. Separately, nobody chants Sat, Sat, Sat. But it is always used with Om. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. But Om, many, even Munis, they chant Om separately. Om, Om, they chant. So, what Bhagavan Krishna says is, each one, Om, Tat, Sat, each one is efficacious. That is what Bhagavan Krishna says. Swami Chinmayananda says, those seekers who want to free themselves from the attachments to the objects or beings, to the selfish desires, self-centeredness, they chant Tat. By thus chanting, they extinguish their mental agitations caused by attachment to the results. Anabhisantaya. Again, this will, by chanting Tat, it will extinguish your attachment with the results. Because result always creates a agitation in your mind. These agitations caused by attachment to the results, they will get extinguished by chanting Tat. Swami Chinmayananda says, this is a tip given by Bhagwan Krishna to the seekers to perform all actions without attachment to the results, with the correct mental attitude. The seekers of freedom utter Tat and perform the acts of sacrifice, penance, and charity without expectation of any result. In short, if you put any activity, whatever activity you carry out, it should be performed without expectation of any result. That indicates the universal truth. It declares the oneness of all living creatures. oneness of all living creatures. The self in me is a self in all. Swami Chinmayananda says, to work for the family means to forget our own self-interest. Initially, when a boy is unmarried, he is always selfish. Then when he gets married, naturally he says, my wife, my son, my daughter, etc. The selfishness slightly enlarges. So it moves towards the family. Then to work for the community means to obliterate the family interest. Some people work for the community. They leave their family. Not completely, but they work for the family also and for the community also. They give something towards the community. To work for the nation means to overlook the limited community interest. Then you enlarge yourself, your heart. You work for the nation. Nation is first, then comes everything. That means you overcome even the community interest. You enlarge your heart still further. Then Swami Chinmayananda says, to work for the world, to work for the humanity means overcoming even the national interest which you have. That is the beauty. That is the highest. By chanting TAT, you reach the highest. No borders will, no borders, you will cross all the borders. The borders are, it becomes meaningless lines drawn by the countries, each countries. Because you feel always humanity. Wherever there is a problem, your heart will feel for that. Overcoming all the national interests. That is attained by chanting Tat. Swamiji says that to work in the field of yajna, dana, or tapas, by chanting Tat, the universal oneness of the spiritual truth is brought about. Again, I already said, the self in me is the self in all. Whatever is the self in me, the same self, the same current, the same energy is there in all the living beings. By chanting Tat and doing the activities means to eradicate the ego in us, and by which one relieves himself from the shackles of matter equipments, the body, mind, sense complex. You completely remove that. You eradicate your ego, completely destroy the ego. That is attained by chanting Tat. That is what Swami Chinmayananda says. Verse 25 again. Tadityanavisantayam palam yajnatabhakriyagam dana kriya cha vividagam kriyante moksha kankshibhim. Next verse we'll see tomorrow. Hari Om Sarvam Krishnarpnamastu. Narayana 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 Narayana